What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Just an Air podcast. This week, we're going to be doing a Q&A episode. I asked you guys to ask me any questions, mental health, friendships, relationships, literally you name it. This is going to be a very uncensored episode, and I'm excited to get into it. But before we do that, you guys obviously know we got the housekeeping. Making sure you're following the Just an Air podcast. I'm actually going to be announcing this week's giveaway winners today on the live date. I gave away, or did give away on the podcast Instagram. It is Just an Air podcast, just on Instagram. You'll find it pretty easily. But anyways, let's get into it. So, weekly errors this week is I am burnt as fuck. Okay. I got Moxie laser. I have been wanting to do this for a while. And if you're not familiar with what Moxie laser is basically it's a laser treatment that you can do on your skin to pretty much renew your skin, get rid of any sun damage. And it's a treatment that you can do within like 30 minutes. The treatment was so quick, but the healing process visually is about 7 days. But long term, you have like months to make sure you're prioritizing sunscreen, staying out of the sun, whatever. So I am very burnt right now. I look like, if you see me in person, I don't know if this camera is going to be able to pick it up as well, but if you see me in person, I look like a snake. I have very microscopic, tiny brown bumps all over my face because that's basically just my dead skin and any sun damage that has been lifted to the surface. And I look crazy, but I'm very burnt. So, yeah, we'll see how all of this unfolds over the next. They said like 5 days, but I've seen other people say 7 days. And I really hope it's 5 days because I'm going on a trip this weekend. So let's hope. But anyways, that is my little era this week. My purchases for this week is my stainless steel pan. You guys have been giving me so much advice on how to cook a fried egg on my stainless steel pan. I think I had mastered it today, but the only thing is I burnt my butter when I put it on too quickly. I just need to be more patient. Okay? Patience comes with stainless steel, and I'm discovering that. And when you're hungry or hangry, it's probably not the best idea to be cooking with a stainless steel pan. Just my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? So I'm learning, but I am happy that I got one. I'm learning a lot more just about like toxic products, and stainless steel is one of the better products for cooking ware to be getting in your household. So yeah, do your own research. It's just what I've learned. Okay. Anyways, weekly catch ups, weekly rants. I'm gonna incorporate them into my weekend recap because why not? So, anyways, Thursday this past week, I had dropped the podcast episode after talking with you guys about everything that's going on with the hurricanes and just everything. And you know what? I just decided in me, I wanted to take action into my own hands with fundraising. And I decided super last minute on Thursday that on Saturday, I wanted to host a run club, basically running and bringing more awareness to what is going on in the other states right now from the hurricanes. So I hosted a run club. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, what if no one shows up? Blah, blah, blah. But I reached out to Noah from the Raw Dog Run Club and I was like, hey, like, would you mind like maybe coming out, supporting it, maybe posting it on your channels? And him and two of the other guys from the Raw Dog Run Club posted it for me. And we surprisingly had a really good turnout. I'm really happy about it. And first ever run club I've ever hosted. We raised over like $500. There, I think was maybe like 30 of us that came out. I got to meet so many new people, which was great. But before that, let's get into Friday. Because the run club was on Saturday. Um, and Thursday was honestly, it was like midday when I decided to do this. And I asked the guys, I was like, do you guys have like megaphone that I can borrow? Because I know they have one from their run clubs. And they're like, no, we lost it when we were moving, but we got it from Sports Academy. So Friday rolls around and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Sports Academy and I'm going to see if they have one. Go to Sports Academy, they don't have one. Go to Dick's Sporting Goods, they don't have one. And at this point, the run club is literally tomorrow. And I'm like, well, I'm fucked. Okay. I am fucked. If I need a megaphone, like I want to maybe run with it and like make sure everyone's like staying on track. Like I don't even know how many people are going to show up. It would be nice to have. So me and my boyfriend had dinner plans at 6 o'clock over in the Domain, which is north of Austin. And I was like, at this point, it's 6 p.m. and the run club is 12 hours later. So I'm like, I'm going to risk it and I'm going to order one on Amazon and see if it comes the next morning. We ended up enjoying dinner. I'm stress-free and trying not to worry about it because 'cause I'm like, "Oh my god, like, the one thing that I need, like, is that, okay?" And so we go to 60 Vines. It's this new restaurant here in Austin, Texas. I am very familiar with 60 Vines because every time I go to Dallas, I go. If you like wine or just like big menus in general with a lot to choose from, this is gonna be your place, okay? Or if you wanna go with a big group, they do family style tables. So in the restaurant, it's massive tables, seats up to 20 people, and you could be sitting on at a date with your boyfriend with a bunch of other people at the table, but you're not like sitting right next to them. There's obviously some open seats before the next party is sat, but it's a cool concept. And if you want to go with a big group, this is going to be the place to go. Their wine menu is massive. I've only ever done the actual wine selection once where you can order a flight of wines and do like your own little wine tasting. It's really freaking cool. Their wine is amazing. Honestly, I have to say, where I got into wine was probably 60 Vines, like maybe a year and a half ago when I went with two of my girlfriends. Um, but I do have to say, the food is not like 10-star rating. It's good. It's good food, but it's more for, you wanna go for the wine, you wanna go for the atmosphere and get, like, decent food, okay? I will say their bacon wrap dates were so good, and it's affordable food, okay? The bacon wrap dates were $6. I would have ordered 3 rounds of those bacon wrap dates, they were so good. I don't know what cheese they had in the middle, but, oh, it was sweet, but then the bacon, it was crispy. Mm. Honestly, one of my favorite things, if there's gonna be that on the appetizer menu, I'm gonna get that or the Brussels sprouts, which we ended up getting both. The Brussels sprouts were, like, Asian, they had peanuts, they had, like, chili crunch of some sort, and Fresno peppers, it was spicy, it was mm, so good. Honestly, if anything, guys, just go for the appetizers. The appetizers were fire, and they also do a cheese board, like, for your selected wine, if you wanna do that as well. Very cool for a date night or a girls trip. And my boyfriend going into this was starving, okay? Starving. Like, would not shut up about it. I'm like, "I get it. You're hungry, okay?" See, here I am. I'm like, I don't, like, save up my hunger for eating out at dinner. Like, if I'm gonna hungry, I'm gonna eat. I eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and my snacks. And so this man's is like speaking with his stomach when he's trying to talk to me about what should we get. And I'm like, you do realize like you are a grown man that is starving. And I am a girl that, yes, I have an appetite, but not as big as you. And so when men order food, they think with their stomach, not like with common sense. You guys, we got 3 appetizers, 2 entrees, and a full ass pizza for 2 people. Okay. And once we got the last appetizer, I was like, "I know we fucked up because 'cause I'm already, like, comfortably full, and I'm realizing we still have 2 appetizer or 2 entrees and a full ass pizza to come out." And I look at him, I go, "We're never listening to you again when it comes to how much food we should get." Because every time we do that, we always screw ourselves over, spend way too much money, and then have way too much leftovers, which he'll end up eating, fine, but it doesn't need to get to that point. It really doesn't. We don't need to be getting that much food. I could have been so content with 3 appetizers and 1 entree. We didn't need that additional massive pizza that honestly I think 4 people could share. So, don't listen to your boyfriends if he's hangry, he's hungry, and he has an idea of what he thinks he needs because he's hungry. Because he'll be like, "Oh yeah, like I could definitely eat all that. I could definitely eat all that. Like I'm so hungry." And then it comes around, he's like, "Nah, I'm actually really full." I'm like, "Okay, are you now? Okay, are you gonna pay for all this? Because I didn't sign up for this." So, and then the waiter comes over, he goes, "Oh, do you want some dessert?" And I look at him, I go, "Does it look like we need I didn't say that, but, like, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, "Sir, does it look like we need dessert? We just ate so much food. I am so uncomfortably full." And he goes back, gets our check, and then comes back and surprises us with a slice of cheesecake, but to go, which was nice of him because I was like, if you put that cheesecake in front of me right now, I would not be able to eat it. Honestly, looking at it, I'd probably throw up. So 2 hours later, after going home, we ended up trying the cheesecake. It was so good. I'm so happy we got that cheesecake. It was fire. And they had, like, m what is it? Like, not regular cherries, but the cherries that have been, like, marinating in that sauce. Oh, put it right on top. It was so good. And basically Saturday morning, I had to wake up and go to the run club. So I guess it was fine. I ate a lot of carbs. Next morning, had to go on a run. I was fueled. I was ready to go. But as you guys know, I ordered that megaphone on Amazon, and thank goodness it showed up. It showed up. It was at my door. I was leaving at 7 a.m. I opened the door to the package right at my feet. I was like, thank freaking God. And then I open it and I realize this thing needs batteries. This thing needs batteries. Oh my God. Why didn't I think about that? So here I am driving with the megaphone in the box still. And I'm like, I need to stop at some type of store. Why does a CVS on a weekend not open at 7 a.m.? Why doesn't it open early? I don't understand. It's a weekend. Come on now. So I had to go all the way over to HEB. And then I realized when I get to HEB, I don't have my wallet. And one thing about HEB and all the Texans know, they don't do Apple Pay. No, none of that. You need your physical card at HEB. So I'm in the parking lot. I'm like, I'm fucked. I am fucked. So I go into HEB and I'm acting delusional. I'm acting like, I have my wallet, all is well, and I'm just going to risk it. I'm going to hope one of the workers at the self checkout is so kind and lets me use their card and lets me Venmo them. Okay. So I grab the batteries. I'm in a rush. Like I sprinted into the HEB and sprinted to the batteries and then sprinted to the self-checkout because I was on a time crunch, you guys. I did not have time to mess around. I get over there, I scan the batteries on the thing, and I act all confused, like, "Oh my God, like, I didn't realize I didn't have my wallet. Shoot, like, what am I gonna do?" Luckily, one of the girls working, young girl, she must have been in college or something. She was like, "Hey, yeah, like, sorry, we, like, don't have Apple Pay." And I was like, "Oh my God, like, I'm in such a rush right now. Like, is there any way you could please pay for this and I'll Venmo you?" So I ended up, she said yes. And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. Like, you are literally saving the day right now." And I Venmoed her. I gave her a little bit of like an extra tip, and I bolt out of there. And I go to my car to put the batteries into the megaphone, and they were the wrong batteries. The devastation in me. I was like, "Are you kidding me? I have been so worked up the last 24 hours about this damn megaphone. Nothing has been going right, and I don't even have the right batteries now." So I said, "I can't go back in there. I can't ask her again to Venmo for me." I said, "We're just gonna have to wing it. We're not gonna have a megaphone." Damn. But it was fine. I didn't need the megaphone. Everyone was respectful and quiet when I got to talk at the at the run club, and the boys from Raw Dog Run Club were helping me out with running throughout the trails to make sure no one got left behind. Everyone was staying in a pack. So it went smoothly. I'm very, very happy about that. But next time I will get the right batteries for my megaphone. But then on Saturday, I kind of just laid low most of the day. I ended up coming home after the run and just sat by my pool for a little bit. Nick ended up coming over and then he was like, "Oh, like some of our friends are on West. Would you want to go to West?" And I was like, Not really. It's so hot, but I mean, might as well get out of the house for a little bit." So we left the house and ended up going over to Rustic Tap, which is on West, and the line was wrapped around the building. And I'm not drinking because I drove and I had dinner plans with some girlfriends later that night. So I just drove us because he was going to go. And I was like, you know what? I might as well just come with you and drive. And then that way you don't have to get an Uber. And so the line was really long. We waited maybe like 30 minutes in line. Finally got in, and all our friends were already there. They had like a whole spot, and we were just hanging out. It was a lot of fun, honestly. I got one drink just because I was like, I don't want people friggin' like asking me why I'm not drinking. So I got one drink, and then I ended up just drinking water the rest of the time, and we're just chilling. But I was dripping sweat, you guys. It was so hot. Like this weather in Austin needs to calm down. I think it was like 92 degrees when I was standing at that bar. And luckily, most of the bars in Austin have misters. So my hair was like curled, ready for the night. Oh, no, got destroyed, got ruined. But then around like 4:30, I was like, you know what? It's time to leave. But honestly, you guys want to know the main reason why I left? Is because so I have a few different like friend groups and like mutuals. Like, you have, like, those people that you, like, go out with and you only see when you're out. You don't really, like, hang out with them outside the bars. So anyways, one of them comes over to me and he goes, "Hey, how are you? Like, it's so good to see you. Like, I haven't seen you forever." Like, we exchange hugs. I'm like, "Yeah, like, I've been laying low. Like, haven't really been, like, drinking as much as I used to last summer because, like, I saw him way more last summer." And he goes, "Yeah, like, that friend of yours, like, that one that had that Reddit account or that Reddit page, like, yeah, I don't really fuck with her anymore." And like, she wouldn't stop talking about that Reddit page. I'm like, "Dude, like, I really just, like, don't wanna hear it right now." And continued on with the conversation about, like, that ex-friend that, loved trolling on me. And I was like, can we not talk about this? Because I'm over it. I'm trying to get over it. And you're bringing it back up. You're bringing up my traumas. Okay. I don't want to talk about it." And so, yeah, I just like somehow, I don't even know how I did it, but I just like neutralized the conversation. I was like, yeah, yeah, like whatever. Yeah, not friends. And I'm sure you know why. And whatever, that happens, and then, like, 15 minutes later, I was like, "You know what?" I looked at my boyfriend, I go, "I think it's my cue to go. It's my cue to go. I'm too sober for that conversation." So, I ended up leaving, and I went home, freshened up because I was meeting my girlfriends out for dinner. Um, Wanted to try this new restaurant called Casa Bianca. I think I'm calling it the right name, but it is, as it says on their Instagram, weird Italian. I was so intrigued by that. This place looks so good. They have a rooftop upstairs for just drinks. So we made a reservation and we decided before the reservation, let's go up to the rooftop, let's get a drink. Aperol Spritz was hands down the best Aperol Spritz I've ever gotten in Austin, Texas. And not to mention, like, being on a patio rooftop. Oh my goodness, you guys, it was the best vibes. Like, me and the girls, we got a round of drinks, drank them. They didn't get an Aperol at the time. And I was just hyping up this Aperol Spritz the entire time, being like, this is probably the best one I got. And they're looking at me like, damn, I wish I got that. So then when we went downstairs, we all ended up getting a round of Aperol Spritz, but the food was amazing, okay? So one thing that I did not know you could do, which shout out to my friend that asked the waitress about this, and I guess she's done this at other restaurants, is when you go to a restaurant and you see things on the menu, but it's just 2 pieces and there's 3 of you, you can actually ask to get 3 pieces. So there was this tuna cannoli, and it only came in 2 pieces. So we asked, we're like, "Can we get this in 3 pieces?" And we did that for pretty much everything on the menu because everything was kinda like tapas style, bite size. And I always wondered, I'm like, "What do you do when there's 3 people, but everything from the tapas is like 2 bites?" So we got oysters, we got the tuna cannolis, and everything was in threes, which was amazing. Um, the waitress was so sweet, so engaged with us. Like, she made us feel like we were in like some type of like not experiment, but like workshop, like cooking workshop. I don't even know because we were asking so many questions about the food, and she had every answer because it's a farm to table restaurant, which is really cool. And they grow their own basil in the back. And one of the dishes said it had blue basil. So we asked her, we're like, "What is blue basil?" And she ends up going out to the garden and getting a blue basil leaf for us and showing us. And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna eat that. I wanna try it." And we had a pasta dish, so I threw some of the blue basil on top of the pasta dish. Holy shit, you guys, blue basil is so much better than regular basil. I don't even know how to explain it to you, but it was so good. Do your own research on where you can get it. I don't even know where you can get it because I've never seen it in a grocery store before, but it was amazing. Overall, probably one of the better restaurants I've been to in a very long time. I will be going back for maybe another girls' night or a double date. The only thing with the tapas is I feel like when you go with boys, it's a lot harder because they crave like a massive steak, a massive burger. Like they want like something big. Whereas like this is more of like an intimate like tapas, small bite experience. Like you're probably, I mean, you could leave there very, very full, but you would need to spend a lot of money. Okay. A lot of money. Okay. We're not doing that. So actually, me and the girls, we got, when we went down to dinner, I got 2 Aperol Spritz and then honestly a good amount of food. And it was only $70. So to be fair, it wasn't even that expensive, but um it was just the restaurant, I will say, I recommend it to anyone. Y'all gotta check it out. And then on Sunday, I wasn't even hungover. This is the first weekend in a very long time where I woke up on Friday and Saturday and wasn't even hungover. I was like, slay, love this feeling. I want to do this more often. And I ended up hosting some football Sunday. Another couple came over and we played Monopoly all day. We made some random ass, like, frozen appetizers, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno peppers, um, dinosaur nuggets. I'm like, of course, my boyfriend picked up dinosaur nuggets. Like, be for real. And then we ended up getting a pizza from San Matero's, which San Matero's pizza, supreme pizza with the hot honey and the homemade ranch. So good. Best combo. You need to try it. But yeah, that was pretty much my Sunday. I did not leave my house at all besides go to the grocery store. I wanted to make a buffalo chicken dip with a rotisserie chicken, but I went to the grocery store at like 8 in the morning. So they're not going to have rotisseries out at that point, which is unfortunate. So I just told my boyfriend, I was like, you're on appetizer duty. So go to the store and grab whatever you think. Of course, him and his roommate show up with all of that like frozen stuff. I'm like, really? Really? I asked you to get a rotisserie chicken, but you got a bag of dinosaur nuggets and mozzarella sticks? Like, be for real. So, anyways, that was my weekend and it was a great time. I loved laying low, not doing anything too crazy. I'm in this new wind of life where I'm realizing I just don't love the bars as much. And I would so much rather trade a Saturday night at the bars, hardly remembering the night, for a girls' night, getting dinner, getting drinks, and actually, having deep conversations, having those laughs, those jokes. Like, it's so fun to me. It's what I'm going to probably do moving forward. Now, obviously, there are going to be those weekends where I'm going to have those crazy weekends. We have the Santa bar crawl coming up. We just have a lot of other random things. It's life. It's a part of life, but I'm going to take up those opportunities just to go get dinner and drinks and say no to the Friday or Saturday nights out at the bars to watch football. It is what it is. Alrighty, time to go over the Q&A segment. I am excited. This time around, I actually flagged all the questions I want to answer, so I'm a little bit more prepared. I don't have a lot of sitting around to do to read them in between each segment, okay? So let's start it off. I'm very, very excited. Thank you everyone also for submitting things. But anyways, I'm in college and thinking about moving to Austin post grad. Do you have pros and cons of the city? I'm also from the Northeast, so it's a big move. Love you and your content. So this question stuck out to me because you're obviously from the East Coast, Northeast Coast, just like me. And one thing that I've taken away from the last 3.5 years of living in Austin, Texas is that yes, the cultures are different. I thought, after the first 2 years, hey, I could picture myself living here for the rest of my life. I like this place a lot. It's cool. I really have no complaints about the city of Austin. But the one thing I will say is that I just can't picture raising a family here. And you know what? Don't take that as an attack on anyone that does live here and raise children here. It's just one of those things where, you know, I'm from the East Coast. Things are just a little bit different over there. And I just want to raise a family over there. And people that move from, Texas over to the East Coast can probably say the same. It's just what you're used to, it's what you've grown up with. But I will say that post grad, this age, it's really important to branch out, go to new cities, meet new people, learn from other people's backgrounds, and just broaden your life, okay? You learn a lot not only about yourself, but just like the world or even, the United States as is, and you're not as sheltered. So that is one thing that I have loved about living in Austin is that I can now say that, like, hey, I moved somewhere outside of my small little town. I've changed a lot. I've developed a lot as a person. I've learned a lot from other people, and I'm not so sheltered anymore. But I can't. I don't, something in me is just saying I can't live here for the rest of my life. And that's fine. I'm going to be, the day it happens where I do move, I'm going to be heartbroken. I don't want to move, but I just know it's in my best interest that I raise a family on the East Coast. And so that's just where I'm leaning towards right now. I'm not gonna get into the nitty-gritty as to why that's my decision, but it is what it is. You can probably pick up what I'm putting down. So, if you are post grad or you're just in a spot in your life where you feel like you haven't experienced something new, I definitely say go for it. I have no complaints with Austin. Austin is an amazing city for young individuals that, want to make new friends, become more active. Maybe they want to start a brand. Like, there's so much going on in the city. And that's what I love about it. And everyone is down to be friends, everyone's down to do things. Like, I haven't had any real issues. I mean, obviously, it's life. Shit happens. Like, no matter where you go, there will be those like little things. But truly, like, Austin is an amazing city. So, yeah. And my next one. Help. I'm talking to this guy. He lives in a different state. I saw him at the bars where I live, and he was just with a mutual friend. He was so cute in person, so I followed him on Instagram, not knowing he wasn't from where I live. Damn it. And he followed me back, and we have been texting, talking ever since. But he went back to his states where he lives. He is now talking about coming home or coming and seeing me after Thanksgiving. I feel like I'm living in real life. Love is blind. LOL. I think he is so cute in person and has cute personality, but we haven't FaceTimed and talked in person obviously since. What is it? What if I see him in person? He's not as cute as I remember. I got the ick. Do I have him come see me in November? Girl, fuck it. Like, YOLO, you only live once. Some of those like crazy love stories are situations like this. Like, you just never know where a situation can lead you. Obviously, I don't think he should stay with you. Maybe you should stay in a hotel or his mutual friend's place. I do think you should stay safe on that spectrum of like, don't welcome him into your home. But yeah, I don't see why he shouldn't come visit you. Like, try not to get the ick. I know once a girl gets an ick, like, it's so hard to come back from it. But I don't see the problem with having him come out in November and seeing you. You just never know. And you know what? If he falls madly in love with you and he is head over heels over you, maybe one day he'll come and visit you and or I'm sorry, move back to wherever you're from. I don't know. But I don't see the problem with it. And it's a story to tell to your friends one day if shit goes wrong. What do you recommend discussing with your partner before moving in together? Love you in the pod. Well, I mean, I've never lived with a significant other before. Me and my boyfriend did that trust test trial over the summer. He lived with me for a month after that home invasion. So yeah, we've done that, but honestly, if anything, like, if I were to move in with my boyfriend right now, I would, of course, need to have, like, those serious conversations about, the finances. What are we splitting? What are you getting? Like, all those serious, like, financial questions. And then, of course, like, what is your boundaries? Like, what are non-negotiables for you? Like, for me personally, like, I mean, actually, I don't really know, like, what's a non-negotiable for me. I feel like the biggest thing for me, if anything, would be if he were to move in with me. If you see something that needs to get done, like, just do it because that's how I am as a person, and he needs to kinda maybe adapt those characters of like, "Okay, the trash is full. Don't let it sit around for another day or 2, like, take it out." Or, "Oh, the laundry needs to get switched over to the dryer." Okay, do it. Like, don't just pass it and see it and not do it. So, just whatever your non-negotiables are, discuss those, and of course, the finances are huge, whether it's, like, the groceries, the electrical, the rent, like, whatever it is. That's something that you guys do need to discuss. And then, of course, like, maybe especially when you first move into with each other, like, it's all fun and games until when it's long term and you are getting really comfortable with each other, where you may lose that romantic spark. So I think incorporating things too in the sense of like date nights or, he cooks one night and you cook another night. Like, whatever it is, just to kind of keep things interesting in relationship and you're not getting too comfortable with one another is really important. Okay. So this is a long one. Buckle up for this one. Hey, so my boyfriend and I broke up 10ish months ago, and a guy from my past hit me up a few months ago after, over the summer. He ended up being super cool, and I thought I might like. I ended up hooking up with him because I thought we had potential. After hanging out a few more times, I realized he was not for me and didn't help. It didn't help that he was travels for work. I'm gonna skim through this because you asked the questions at the end. So he's your questions are: how do I get the guy from summer to stop texting me as much? Because I hardly answer at this point, and he doesn't take any hints ever. And I was honest about not wanting anything more. And then question number 2, do I be honest with my ex if he asks if I've ever hooked up with anyone after they broke up? I don't want him to get hurt, but I also don't want him to end up getting back together with him either. I truly want no men, but I don't know how to tell each without hurting them. I sound like a bitch, but I'm really just trying to do the right thing and be honest with both scenarios. Um, Honestly, the first guy that you didn't date and you just hooked up once, you really don't owe him much, especially, like, if you he travels a lot for work and all that stuff, like, this man's already on the move as is, like, I think he'll kind of forget if you're not really answering him anymore, like, you could just say, "Hey, I'm honestly, you know what? You could lie. Say you're talking to somebody new." Or, like, if you don't wanna just, like, ghost him and make it all about him, like, just be like, "Hey, I'm talking to somebody new, like, I'm sorry, like, I can't do this." Or you could just be straight up with him. The person I wouldn't be straight up with is your ex. The only reason you should be ever straight up with him is if you guys did get back together, and that's a conversation that needs to be had, because if you guys did get back together and he ended up finding out that you lied to him about hooking up with anyone while you guys were broken up, then that's gonna be a conversation that's going to be hard down the road. But if you're not gonna get back with him, no reason to bring it up. It's none of his business, and I don't think you would want to know his business either if you're broken up. So, don't bring it up to him. But if like I said, if you do end up start talking again and maybe date again, then bring it up. All right. How to get over avoidance and hyper independence in a relationship. Girl, you are asking the right person. Okay. If you guys know me, I am a very individual human. I was single for 5 years, moved to a new city all on my own, had no friends. Like, I am very independent and honestly, hyper independent. And in the sense, yes, that has come from a place of overly wanting to protect my peace and overly wanting to protect myself, and the lack of my feminine side flourishing. If you get in a relationship with the right person, they will help you let your feminine side blossom. And with my boyfriend, at the very beginning of our relationship, I was very independent. I didn't really want him doing things for me. Like, I was like, I wanted to be like that badass bitch that's like, okay, you're in a relationship with a girl now that is so independent where she can do everything on her own. And at the end of the day, that's not something that us as women should be doing. Like, our fucking brains and our stress and our anxiety is constantly turning in our brains. Like, it's not a good thing. Men, they're fucking thinking about there's crickets in their brain. There is straight crickets and rocks in their brains when they're not doing something. Like, if they're watching TV, they're thinking about football. But sometimes when I'm watching TV, I'm thinking about some shit that went down like 2 days ago, or, what I'm going to be doing in 3 weeks. Okay? My brain never stops. So, with that being said, it is good to get into a relationship with a guy that can help you turn off your brain. And that will help you allow your feminine side to come out, blossom more, and you feel like you're in the back seat. You don't have to be worrying about things. He is taking full control and responsibility for certain things, and you can just sit back and relax. I am still trying to work on that more in the sense of like the social aspect. I've always been that person that is reaching out to people, making plans, making the reservations, texting people. Like, I've never been in a position where people text me to make plans. So I'm still right now trying to deal with that. I took a huge, 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 huge step back at the end of the summer from talking to anyone. And it has been nothing but good for me and my mental sanity, just going with the flow, doing things as they come and not worrying about, "Oh my god, like, I need to text this person, blah, 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 blah." So, if anything, it's uncomfortable, it's hard at the very beginning to not be so independent, but you need to just trust that things will fall into place, and you need to stop protecting yourself too much. So, yeah, that is my advice for you. Mhm. How do I remove someone from your life who's causing drama, making you feel not seen, etc., without causing more drama? I guess this can kind of relate to that last one with the independence thing. So I am realizing as I'm getting older that I just don't like having big friend groups. I don't like it. I It brings out this nasty side in me of like everyone's talking about drama, everyone's talking about shit, like blah 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 blah, and like it like eats you alive. It's like holy shit, like why? Like there's just so much drama, and yeah, I will say I've gone caught in it. Like I've been a part of like the gossip, the chit chat, whatever, but it's fucking draining, and I've been doing a very good job last few months of just if there's drama, I block my ears. I don't want to hear it. I only ever want to be hanging out with people that we're not talking crazy shit or talking about drama. If there's a lot of drama, I want no part of it. I really want no part of it. And some of that also has to do with just like my mental sanity right now. Okay. But for me, when it comes to just like removing people, do it for you. You don't owe anyone an explanation. I mean, if you want to give the explanation, then so be it. But if it's causing drama, like you're saying, and you don't feel seen, then at the end of the day, what benefit is this person giving to you? And if you can't really think of anything besides like maybe the comfort of like, having that person, then I don't see the problem in just removing them. So it is what it is. And that's the thing I've realized over the years. And especially, oh my goodness, you guys, this put it into perspective for me when I was out to dinner with a bunch of older people that have either been married or have been to a bunch of weddings. Actually, more people that have been married. It was like a work thing that I went to. And every single one of them said that not every single one of them, but majority of them had said, yeah, 50% of the bridesmaids that were in my wedding I hardly talk to anymore. And I'm like, "Holy shit." Like, that just puts things into perspective for you. Because like, when I was in high school, oh, girl, I thought all those girls in high school were gonna be my bridesmaids. Or, like, just, like, life keeps happening, keeps evolving, and you keep changing, and so are the people, and there's no problem with that. Like, there's literally no problem with that. So, just remember that your inner peace and your, like, healing that you need to go through is way more important at the time. And hey, you never know. Like people can turn a new leaf. Let's see. Okay, this is a fitness one. Let's change the topic. How do you deal with friends who have been making triggering comments about not eating or skipping meals, then you feel weird about eating in front of them? I would just have a straight up conversation with them. Like at the end of the day, I don't know how old you are, but at the end of the day, like communication is so important when it comes to friendships. If something's bothering you, you need to address it. You can't bottle it up because things will just get worse. And if your friend is triggering you with eating habits, you need to just have that conversation. You'd be like, hey, I'm just letting you know right now, like I have a past of maybe like an eating disorder or disordered eating, binge eating, whatever it is. And I'm still trying to work through that. And some of your comments that you make in regards to food do pull back those old memories of mine. And I need you to be there to support me and help me move forward from my triggered relationship with food. Um, if they're a good friend, they'll understand that. If not, then bye. Bye, whatever your name is. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. All right, next one, also food and fitness. Go into detail on your marathon training. Like, what does your lifts consist of or runs? So, I actually recently posted my workout split. Right now, I'm training 6 days out of the week. I have 2 lift days. I have 1 leg day and a full upper or a full body day. And I have 3 running days, which is a total of 5 days. And then I have an active rest, which is yoga. So that's what I'm doing right now. I will not be working out twice a day. You just won't catch me doing it. Um, I'm only on week 3 of my marathon training. I'm going to be getting all the way up to week 20. It's just going to get harder. It's going to get longer. So I'm taking advantage of the fact that my runs are short right now, and I'm not training twice a week. There's just no need. Whoops. Let's see. How do you deal with all the hate from actually, I'm gonna answer both of these. I'm gonna do this one first. Just wanted to ask how you've been doing after all that life threw at you this year. You are loved by so many, and we are so thankful you share any part of your life. At all of us, much love. And then the next one is, how do you deal with all the hate from comments if it must impact your mental health? Which I got so many messages from you guys about like my mental health, where I'm standing right now. And I truly do appreciate you guys so much asking that, because one of the like main things why I don't stop this podcast is because like it's so therapeutic to me being able to talk to you guys. Sometimes it bites me in the butt and I overshare too much information with you guys, and I'm trying to do better at that and protect not only me but people in my life a little bit better. But in terms of everything that had happened over the last 6 months, it's been really fucking hard, I'm not gonna lie, like, having so many things happen at once, from my grandmother passing away, getting in a car accident, my boyfriend's house having a home invasion, and that disaster trip in Mexico where I had to leave early, which there's a lot of information from that trip that I didn't even share with you guys. Um, Maybe one day I'll share that information with you guys, but right now I'm not. I don't even the thing is, I was so angry from that Mexico trip because it was a work trip, and I signed a bunch of contracts, so I couldn't even talk about it. So I don't even know if I still can. But all of that happened within 2 weeks, and I thought I was coping with my emotions the right way, speaking about it, being emotional, crying, letting it out, but I'm still kind of going through it. Like, it doesn't help that my entire life is put on the internet, because I 100% would be like, I know this for a fact. I would be so fine if I didn't do social media and I coped with everything. But because my mental health is already not doing well, and then I'm doing social media and I'm getting nasty comments that have nothing to do with what has happened in my life, but just nasty comments in general, it's just, it's like throwing fucking stones at someone who's already down. Like, and it's hard. It's been really hard. Um, but the one thing that I have been trying to do the last few like weeks is lay low, take the back seat, and whatever comes and whatever goes is out of my control. I want nothing to do with it. I will put in the energy and the effort where need be, but I just need to really, really protect my peace, my emotions, and I don't really know where. Sorry, I'm kind of going on a tangent right now, but like I just don't really know where. I just All right, hear me out right now. So, the one thing that I've been struggling with the most is finding the bad in everything. Because with everything that has happened in my life over the last 6 months, everything I have not had a control on. So, as someone has always felt like she has a control on everything, I'm very hands-on. I like having everything in my control. I'm a what is it, type A friend, where I like the timeline, okay, we have plans at this time and then we're leaving at this time and getting over to the other place at this time. Like, that's just how my brain operates. And when you have circumstances like those where you're in no control, you kind of lose that feeling of control in life, and you can only ever see the bad. And so with even the smallest little things, they have become so big to me because I just feel so out of control with all the negative things that are happening that I'm forgetting to even look at the positives in my life. So, like for instance, Mac got bit by a bug, what, like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, had to bring him to the ER. Dude, I was fucking devastated. I was bawling my eyes out. I was freaking out. And realistically, yeah, he got a bug bite, he's gonna be okay, but, like, in my eyes, like, I thought of the worst possible case scenario that was gonna happen. And so what I'm trying to do a better job at is not look at the bad in everything that's happening. And I know I said this when my grandmother passed away, and I was like, I know she'll want me to be thinking about all the positive memories with her, XYZ. I was doing that. I was. But then when more things started to happen, I got in a fucking car accident and then XYZ kept happening. I just felt like I was losing control in my own life. So, yeah, I have been taking a seat and really trying to breathe when something happens and something triggers me and waiting to respond or waiting to react because all the way I respond to certain things that are negative is because of all the things that have happened to me over the last few months. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the things that are currently happening. And so yeah, that's just kind of where I've been at. I have been really trying to work on just breathing and looking at the good in life. And with that is, removing myself from drama. Like the outside drama, and I've said this to my friends like before is like I'm going through so much shit right now with my own personal life. The last thing I need to add in is other random miscellaneous drama. I just can't do it. I don't have the capacity to be dealing with this right now. And that's just how I've been coping. Like, and I hate to admit this, and I'm sure a lot of people can also agree, is like when you're down and you're struggling, you can't check in on other people. You just like you don't have the capacity, you don't have the energy, you just can't do it. And it's not because you're selfish. It's not because you I don't even know. Like it's just cuz you're just so defeated in your own life that you have no control over it. So, yeah, that's what I've been going through, and I'm working through it. Sorry, I'm putting lip gloss on. Fucking when I talk, I my lips get so dry. So, yeah, I mean, mentally, I'm doing much better, I hope, and I'm trying to just stay positive. Look at the positive in life. If there's a negative thing that happens, I'm taking a deep breath, and if anything, what I've learned from this year is that I I operate better just as a person, having, like, different friend groups because like, I work from home. I have a lot of free time, and when you have not the best mental state, it's good to have, like, different groups. I got my run club friends, I got my, like, regular running friends, my gym friends, my influencer friends, my, like, regular friends, my going out friends, my boyfriend's friends, my friends, like, all different groups, and they're all disassociated. Like, no one knows everyone, like, I'm just in my own little world with my own little bubbles outside of that. And that is just where I feel like I strive the best. There's no need for everyone to mesh together because that causes drama. I'm not doing it anymore. So, that's just my little tangent on my mental health. I hope you guys can understand that. I hope it's not one big like mushy conversation, that you don't understand. So, anyways, this one. Is it possible to orgasm with your boyfriend after 3 years if you haven't been able to? Girl, I hate to break this to you. From my own experience with my 2 other ex-boyfriends, no, it's not. It's not. Hate to break it to you. I'm sorry. Maybe you can go to sex therapy, talk with a therapist. I don't know. I really don't know, but from my own experience, I'm gonna say no. What is an unpopular opinion you have that you would 100% defend most of the time or all the time? Peanut butter is disgusting. I don't like peanut butter. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like the consistency of it. It's nasty. I just don't like it. And I know that's a hot take, but it is what it is. I think it's gross. Um, let's see. Mhm. Oopsie. Sorry. As a woman, I make more money than my boyfriend, and he is jealous of that. Oof. I mean, me and my boyfriend, I do make more than him, but he sees it as more of a motivation to find outside hobbies and external ways to make money. If I had a boyfriend that was jealous of how much money I was making, I mean, obviously, jealousy comes in different ways. Is it spiteful jealousy? Is it, you know, like, where is the jealousy coming? I need his actions. Actions speak louder than words in this type of a situation. But if it's more in like a spiteful way, then maybe he's not for you. He's insecure in himself and he needs to work on that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. I think I skipped one that I wanted to answer. Okay. This one's long. That's why I skipped it, but I'll read it. So, I have the best friend since 2012, and she is the most toxic relations that have ever been going on for 5 years. Last year, they broke up for a year, and they even got back together a year now. The first round of her dating this guy who was super toxic, didn't let her go out, was also accusing of her cheating always, stalking her location, and so much more. She became depressed and she was just low of energy, which was not her personality at all. She was single for a full year. She admitted that she was in a toxic relationship. It was drained from him and was living her best life with me as I was single at the time, and her old self popped back out. They got back together last year after he came back saying he changed and she took him back. I tried being a best friend and looked out for her, just saying she shouldn't go back, but she did. And whoops, why isn't this letting me scroll down? Um sh- Seems very toxic and he has not changed in his ways, but um she wipes her ass with my advice and completely told me to fuck off. My ultimate question is, how do we have her realize that she needs to walk away from that toxic relationship and realize she deserves better? I'm sorry, but I hate to say this, and I've been through similar things, but if they're not gonna wake up and they're not gonna realize it from themselves, it's not your responsibility anymore, because I'm sure it is just as draining for you to express all of this to her as it is just, like, sitting back and, like, letting it unfold. Like, it's a draining situation, but at the end of the day, you just gotta let your friend, at this point, go through it on her own, let her feel these lessons learned. It's not your responsibility anymore, and at some points, you just gotta zip it, and you gotta be quiet and let them go through it, because what is most important to you? Your actual friendship with her or her in that relationship? Because you don't want to sacrifice losing her as a friend if you keep nitpicking at her with her relationship. You can say to her, "Hey, I just don't fuck with your boyfriend anymore. Don't really like him. I love our friendship. I appreciate our friendship, but if we hang out and we're friends, like I want no involvement in it." And that's fine. But I just think you need to save yourself the exhaustion of constantly giving her advice and talking about it, and just be quiet and let her figure it out on her own. That's just my advice. Yeah. Um, yeah, but that's it, I guess, guys. I feel like that's all the questions I need to answer today. My mouth is fucking drying up. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm sorry I look like dog shit right now because I had the Moxie laser and my face is like sunburned. Hopefully it's not too pigmented on the camera. But if people talk the shit on my Instagram reel saying I look like shit, that's on them because I already know that. All right. But I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love doing these little segments. And I feel like when I even get to talk about my mental health, it helps me a lot. Talk. Just talk, 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 talk. I yap my boyfriend's ear off enough. Okay. So when I be able to talk to you guys, it's a whole nother level. I love it. So that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed and I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one.